Hey card making friends, welcome back. Sandy McIver here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with some new products from Spellbinders. The designer is Wendy Vecchi, and this is called Not Your Ordinary Card Collection. And what we have here is gift card holders. And they're very cool. There's a whole bunch of dies to decorate them with. You can also get some zigzag dies for building these. And I'm going to go through the products and then we're going to play with them. Okay, let's start with the base. This is the Essentials envelope die set. So you get this big honking die, which cuts out this. And we'll have a chat about that in just a sec. There's two sentiments in here that create for you. There's a large flower and a small flower, a butterfly, a whole bunch of baby flowers, and 3 different sizes of leaves. When you get to this, it not only die cuts, but I don't know if you can see, it also scores. And so what you want to do is you want to fold along the score lines. And when you're cutting this, try and use some lighter cardstock. It makes it a lot easier to fold. Okay, so you're going to, I like to line up the 2 pieces on the top here and then hold it in place and do a press down just like that. Okay, and then you want to use a bone folder and get that nice and tight. For the side one, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to fold that in. You want to make sure it's going to line up with the edge. Okay, and give that a nice burnish. The bottom one, you want to do to the outside. Okay. So you want to fold that over and make sure you get a nice score. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to grab the pocket out of this one. And I haven't glued this together yet. But when you stick this in here, it goes all the way to the bottom. Okay? This one, I did it on the inside before I knew this. And so when you pop this one in, it only goes that far because it gets stuck on this little piece at the bottom. So make sure you glue to the outside. So what I do with these, let me just grab my glue here, throw everything around. I'm just going to add some glue down this side. And then you just want to close it. You want to make sure you're lining everything up. And then just hold it in place for a couple minutes. While you're holding it in place, you can turn it around this way. And you can add some glue to the back of this. And fold that over, and you can hold that in place at the same time. Okay, so we're finished playing with that. We're going to let that dry, and I'm going to show you a couple of projects that I created with this. Okay, so here is the flower, and what I did was I cut one out of the rust color, then I cut one out of the black. These little spots here pop out so that you can see the peekaboo from the color behind coming through. And I used the, there's a set of stencils called Build a Plaid layering stencils. And I'm going to show you how to use these really easily to create these great backgrounds. This is just so much fun. I spent a whole day playing with these. Had a blast. Okay, so obviously this one is done in teals and copper. This one is done in red and green for Christmas. Same flower, just different colors. There's a variety of the leaves. And then coming up is a pinking edge birthday add-ons that has these pinking sheer die cut finishes to create these cute little cards. Okay, and there's also a stamp set that I'll be showing you. So there's the flowers. Next up we have Not Your Ordinary Card Collection Christmas add-ons. Great selection. Starting at the bottom, we got this pretty spray, which I have used here, okay? And then there's a bunch of holly, which I haven't used on any cards yet. There's a heart, okay? So I used the heart here. I also used the heart here. And there are tags and tickets. And there's also outlines for the little baby stamp set that comes along with this one. And these little guys here are the veins to put in the leaves, okay? And there's also holly berries. So there's 3 of those that you can attach with the leaves, okay? And there's a couple of word dies to do these little small words here, the big one for the big words here. And then there's these 2 that create this adorable little bow. So there's a red one there, and I did a pink one on the kitty here. Next up, we have the Pinking Edge Birthday Add-ons. This is this beautiful set. So as I said, there are, do you remember pinking shears from your sewing days? I think I still have a pair. Anyway, very cute layering dies. Okay, so these two are for the inside, and then this larger one, you could actually put a card base if you wanted on the front of this. Okay, and you could build it up from there, or you could just take some of the elements and you could make a card. And what I've done here is, you can see I've added a score line and I have attached it at the top so that I actually made a card out of it, and the card will stand just like that. Okay, so I'm going to pop this back in. This is the larger of the two, and I've just got a single layer on this one. And then we've got inside here, we have a double layer. So whatever colors coordinate with the little pocket that you created, they work great. Along with that, there is a happy and a birthday, and I have used just the outline of these, but there's also a shadow die for each of those as well. The birthday cake are all these little pieces in here, and I have layered that up on this little birthday cake, and also this one with the kitty. Very cute birthday cake. Okay, you can also take this one, and you can use two of them, and then you can take the bow from the Christmas one, and you can make Christmas parcels or birthday parcels. Really, really cute. So not only you can make these out of plain cardstock, or you can use pattern paper as I've used here, or you can use the stencils and you can create your own plaid. Okay, the final set, Halloween add-ons. Truthfully, my favorite. I love Christmas, but I am really, really enjoying this particular one, and you're going to be seeing it again. I have a little box set that I need to do this coming week, and so I'm going to decorate it with these. What I really love about this is this adorable little cat, and you can see that I have used him 3 different times in 3 different projects. There's also an outline for the cat. Okay, there is a stamp set that comes with it, so you get Boo, October 31st, Happy Halloween. There is an outline die for the Happy Halloween and the Boo. And then October 31st fits inside this ticket die, and then there's an outline for the ticket die here. You can see I have stamped and cut the Happy Halloween there, and I have stamped and cut to the Boo there. This one, I took the love from the other set, and that was Christmas add-ons. Okay, there's a little love in there. And then for you. Okay, what else do we have? We have candy corn in 3 different sizes. So I used the candy corn for a little kind of unicorn hat for this little dude here, and then put a puffy little pom-pom on top of it. Wendy has made trees out of these, which are really cool. You can see that over on her Facebook group. She has a Facebook called Make Art with Wendy Vecchi, and she has some great samples over there. There's a cool spider, which I've used here and gave him green gem eyes. There's this awesome spider web, and as you can see, I've used this a couple of times. I really like this spider web. Very, very cool. And a star. There's a little star behind here, and I also used the star here and here. And so for both of these, I used yellow stickles. Once it was glued down, covered it with that. There's a little bat, and I've used the bat right here and gave him red beady eyes. And what else do we have? There's a candy, okay? And then this little guy here are the little stripes that go over top of the candy. And I think that's about it. For my 2 Halloween cards, I have a 2-tiered tray in my kitchen that I like to build decorations for the holidays. And so these are going to go in there. And so for that purpose, I actually glued this one in place. And then I built these little wire hangers so they could hang. So you could use them as Halloween decorations, or this one still pulls. You can still put a gift card inside there. Okay, so there's my shears for that. Now I am going to set up and I'm going to show you how to do the plaid stencils. Okay, just before we get into it, I'm going to show you, these are the colors that I used when I was building all of these little samples for you. Okay, and then I also went a little crazy and made a whole bunch of these because I had so much fun doing this stenciling that I just thought, oh, I'm going to be doing this again. So, you know, here's a whole bunch of envelopes. Let's get crazy. I was watching a really good movie, so I just sat here and built and built and built. We're going to be working with these three, and I'm going to do this background. Okay, the stencils. There is a large wide one. There's a skinny one. There's a almost skinny one. There's a little bit wider, and then there's double skinny. I like to start with the wide one first, okay? Couple of tricks I learned. If you use grid paper to put everything down on, it makes it a whole bunch easier. So this is a piece of the Spellbinders grid paper. Simon Says Stamps also has this, okay? I folded it in half just so that it's easier to move around. And I'm going to line up with a couple of the grids. And I'm just kind of looking at this. This is the front, okay? And I take the Spellbinders tape. This is Best Ever Craft tape, and it truly is. And I'm just going to tag these two corners so that it stays in place. And eventually I'm going to have to move them to do some of the stenciling, but for now, it's good where it is. I'm going to start with the green, okay? And I'm going to start with the widest of the stencils. And you'll notice here, I've got a green one there and a green one there. So grab a couple more pieces of tape. Preparation is everything. I'm going to move this so you can actually see it. There you go. I'm playing with a new camera system and I'm still getting used to it, so bear with me here. All right, so I want to decide where I want this to go. And I'm thinking right about there. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up along the bottom here so that I know that this is square, and I'm lining up along the side and I know that's square. I'm going to put a piece of tape there and a piece of tape there. The reason I'm doing that, it's going to help hold both of these sides down so that when I use my brush, it's not going to get underneath the stencil. Okay, so ink up your brush and just start adding the ink. And you want to go in a circular motion and you want to go both ways. That way you're going to get right up against the edges and get nice even coverage. I also use my fingers to hold it down a little bit. And with my paper folded in half, if I find it easier to turn it this way to work, it's easy for me to do that. Okay. And I'm going to go fairly quick here, so don't freak out if it's not really even. Okay, so I'm going to reuse this tape. Nice part about this tape is you can reuse it many times. We're going to turn this way, and now we're going to do the same thing. And I am looking for a place to line up. So again, I am going to use, I think I'm going to go to this one. So what I'm lining up is this line here. Okay, and also this line here. Again, adding my tape. Okay, so I got it all lined up and taped down. Back in with the ink. And obviously, because you're doing a layer over top of the layer that you already put down, that part is going to be darker, but that's part of the plaid. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, so grab your microfiber cloth and wipe the stencil down. I'm going to change over to yellow and use the same stencil. So again, removing the tape so I can use it again. Just to make sure I'm not going to transfer any color, I'm going to use the other side of the stencil this time. So I'm going to move over to the other side of my pocket. Again, lining up my stencil on the grid, adding my tape. Okay, I'm using a really bright yellow. This is Citrine. And you have to use a really bright yellow, otherwise it's not going to show up on this green. I think I grabbed the wrong green. I think this one is a little bit on the dark side. But that's okay, we'll work through it. Meaning that the card, the background of this card, see, it's lighter than this one. But that's all right. Okay, picking this up, and once again, okay, I'm not going to do a second one with this one. We are going to switch over now, and I'm looking, I think, nope, I'm going to go with the skinny one. I'm going to add a skinny line over here in the yellow, lining up here, and going for the outside edge with my tape this time. Okay, laying down the yellow. And again, you want to get that good and dark. Okay, pulling this back. We're getting a nice grid going here. Really nice. Okay, so I need another yellow line. So I'm going to go this way, and I want to be up a little bit from where I was previously. So, where's my green? Hard to see through this. Okay. Okay, I am lining up this line and this line. So again, this keeps everything square for you, which is really important when you're doing this. Okay, do this one. And that's all I need for the colors. Okay, I'm going to clean my fingers and we're going to do some black. Okay, I'm using VersaFine Clair. This is the Nocturne. This is a really, really, really nice dark black. It's also easy cleanup on the stencils, which is awesome. And what we're going to do is we're going to start filling in some of our plaid. And we're going to be doing some of that with this and then some of it with a fine Copic pen. Okay, so I'm using the little bit wider line. I'm lining up on the outside edge here, laying that down. Okay, the black is extremely dramatic, so you got to make sure that you're where you want to be when you start putting this down. And you get good even coverage. When you order this one, order the re-inker because it goes through a lot of ink, and it's really nice to be able to re-ink it and have it stay nice and black like this. Okay, I am going to stick a black one right in here, I think. Okay, so once again, taping down, and I'm still using the same tape. Okay, back and forth in both directions, making sure you get good coverage. Okay, I think I'm pretty okay with that so far. It's looking really good. Getting rid of that. I'm going to come down and I'm going to use the double. Gotta play with the double. Okay, I'm going over top of my green line. So I'm just looking to say where my green line is. I'm going to move in 1/4 inch, and I know I'm doing that just because of the squares. Each of the squares is 1/4 inch. So taping down, making sure that I'm all lined up. And okay, we've got our lines going that way. We're going to pull this up and we're going to add some over here. This time I'm lining up against the edge of the yellow. And then I'm also making sure that I'm within my grid. and I am, okay, taping this down. And I'm going to use my cloth because I don't want to get black ink all over my fingers. I have a great habit of transferring black ink onto my card where I don't want it. There we go. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to add the black lines. Where am I going with this one? I think I'm going to try and center this. Okay, so I'm lining up this line here and this line here. Okay, once again, using my cloth. And I'm going to flip it around the other direction. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay, so if you look closely on this card, you'll see that there are some fine lines in here that really add to the plaid. And that's what we're going to do next. And I've got two different kinds of markers that I like to use. This is a Copic multiliner, and this is a Zig. They're both 05s. I happen to like the 05s. I really, really like this one. Oh, that one's not the one I like. Let's have a little look here. Okay, this is the one. This is Zig. I think I need to get a new Copic. Okay, so we're just going to eyeball this one. You want a ruler that you can see through. Okay, and then you're just going to draw your lines. Okay, I want one there. I want one right down the edge of this green. And if you want, you can go over this a couple of times. I'm going to go down the edge of the green here as well. Okay, adding that one. I could have done a better job on that one. Oh well. And I'm going to turn this around because it's nice to have extra space. And then you can use the T-square. Okay. Put that one there. And I'm just going to go down the outside edge of this yellow line here. Okay. And then I'm going to turn and go the other way. Starting at the bottom, I'm going to add one here. Okay. Against the green line. Straighten that just a hair. Okay, I'm hurrying a little bit for the sake of the video. When you're doing this, just sit and relax and concentrate on what you're doing and getting the lines really nice and straight and solid. Okay, the ink on this one is still kind of wet. That's why I'm having to go over it a couple of times. When I was doing this by myself, I let the ink dry really well before I started this, and it really did help. Okay, so I'm going to put a line there, and let's have a stop and see. So this is very, very similar, with the only difference being that the greens are different colors, but this is where I started with this one. Cool, right? And very, very addictive. Okay, so from there you're going to grab your Halloween add-ons and you are going to start doing your kitty cat. And so you have to cut the kitty cat out a couple of times. You do it once in the black and then you do it in green to get his little pockets for his eyes, the white for there. I did gray on the inserts of his ears. And what I did when I cut this out is I just flipped it over and put some masking tape on the back so that it was sticky side up, and then just pressed down and embedded all of these pieces in there. And the little nose, okay, you stick that little piece in there and then just use your black pen and color in the bottom of it so just your nose is showing. And then you get to do your spiders. There's also a spider web string that they're hanging down on. Okay, the spider web at the top. So here's the two sizes, the two smaller sizes of the zigzags. So you're just going to stick those over top, and then you can slide it into your card. Okay, the star again from the Christmas one, I think. Which one was it from? No, it's from this one. They're right there. Okay, and if you want to play with candy corn, you can add some candy corn, which also make great trees, I think. And they might make a cool Christmas ornament too. Anyway, head over to Make Art with Wendy Vecchi, and you'll find all kinds of more fun samples that she has over there on her website. I forgot to show you, you can also turn this and put it on an angle. So let me show you this way. Instead of going square like we did here, you're going to take this one and you're going to put that tip there, and you're going to put that tip there. Okay, and then you can use the grid still to do all of your coloring. And when you're finished, you're going to have angled, which are these two. Okay, so here's all the samples that I made, just giving you a really good idea of a few different ways that you can use these products. All of these products are now available over on the Spellbinders website, and I have a link to all of them underneath this video, and they're all affiliate links, so I'd appreciate it if you use them. Much appreciated. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, and leaving me a comment is always greatly appreciated. Until next time, toodles!